Happy to be joined on the line by Nate the Great Marquardt, who takes on Smilin' Sam Alvey this Saturday night for UFC on Fox 23. Nate, thanks so much for giving us the time. One of the things that we do here at Fight Network is we examine the history of mixed martial arts and the history of combat. And one of the things that we are proud to showcase is the long-running Pancrase organization. We've shown the history of Pancrase and so many of your fights. Can you explain the difference between fighting in 1999 and sometimes fighting 3 times in a night to how the game has changed and how the sport is now for you?
Oh, yeah, it's a pretty big difference. When I started fighting, when I started training, actually, it was more of they hadn't even decided on the name mixed martial arts. I think they were calling it Vale Tudo at that point, and it was basically Vale Tudo means anything goes, and basically you'd go in and there were 2 rules: no eye gouging and no biting, and no gloves, obviously. And so that's kind of the world I entered into, and for sure, some of my first tournaments I fought in were 8-man tournaments, three times in one night, and the rules were different and a lot less rules, but it's definitely progressed, and it's I think it's really held on to the essence of what mixed martial arts was from the beginning, which is, kind of a mixture of all martial arts, so that you have as little rules as possible, but the rules that we do have, they protect the fighter.
When you think about your abilities and your experience and where you're at your martial arts, your career, and just the journey that you've had in this sport and in life, what is the biggest thing that your fighting career and the martial arts path has taught you about yourself as a human being?
Kind of some of the same stuff that anybody learns in going through life, things like not giving up or being able to push yourself past the point of exertion, or it's just something I always loved to do, and I really love the technique of martial arts, and so for me, I'm able to do what I love and what I enjoy, and so I guess, but yeah, as far as just what I've learned from martial arts, from doing this martial arts, I guess. You learn a lot about yourself as far as how tough you are, I guess.
Yeah, right.
That you can withstand a lot more than you would think.
I think one of the reasons why I asked that is because you look at your mixed martial arts debut, your no holds barred debut, your Vale Tudo debut in April of 1999, and you think about all the different martial arts academies, karate dojos, and taekwondo academies that were open during that time. And, they're teaching the things that they're teaching to people. You're learning those things, but then you need to prove that they work in actual combat. Not everybody has those same desires to test themselves, to see if they're learning the real truth of combat and if they'll be able to defend themselves given a real life situation.
Okay.
So when you take that into consideration, did you understand that's what you were doing, that you were going through this crazy experiment that would turn into, one of the biggest sports going?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I totally knew, like what you're saying about learning a technique and then, like, man, is this actually going to work in a real situation? I definitely understood that concept, because even in training, you kind of find out what works and what doesn't work, and you find out that certain things work for certain people and it's not for everyone. So, but as far as how big the sport would get, I guess I definitely didn't understand that. I was hopeful that it would
Sure.
grow as a sport, but especially how it kind of went underground for a while. I was just doing it for the love of the sport.
How important is it for you to gain new experiences? Are you hoping that you have the same type of you sign a bout agreement, you have the fight, you get the victory? Are you hoping to get new information every time you leave the cage? Have a new type of opponent that you've never had before to be able to solve a riddle? Or are you just hoping that you can go out there, either submit them or knock them out, and you leave, based on all of the things that you've done in training leading up to that fight?
Well, I mean, I guess every opponent I face, and even in the gym, it's always kind of like a chess match. You're always looking for weaknesses, you're looking for tendencies, you're looking for openings, ways you can counter their moves, ways you can defend against their moves. And so that's kind of my style, I guess. Some guys just go out and act and react, but that's not my style. I like to kind of, over the course of the fight or the round or the sparring match or whatever it is, I try to develop a strategy, and so that as the fight goes on, I'm able to do better and better and better against this person. So what I hope for, I wouldn't really say I hope for one thing or the other. I mean, that's just more of my style.
When you look at Sam Alvey as an opponent, it feels based on everything that we've seen of your career and your skill set that you would like this type of opponent. What do you think of Sam Alvey as a fighter, and what problems do you believe that he can present for you that you can try to solve inside of the cage?
Well, Sam is he's a very good fighter. He's very calm when he's fighting. He's very calm, and he's very he believes very much in his techniques that he uses. I do feel his stand-up technique is very limited, but at the same time, that's not saying that. I mean, that's not like a knock at him in any way, because a lot of times the guys who are the best, they only have a few tricks, but they're just the best at them, and they're able to use them against everybody. So he does have a very limited style in that respect, where I definitely have to find my way around his attacks and his counter attacks that he uses. And so yeah, I mean, he's a very interesting fighter. He's good takedown defense. I haven't seen much of him on the ground. I did train with him before, but that was a while ago. That was back in 2012. So I'm sure he's progressed since then. And so yeah, it'll be a very interesting and exciting fight for me.
Is it important for you to continue to grow as a mixed martial artist? I think anybody that's been watching MMA for a long time, they know that we all feel that you're one of the most complete fighters out there. But when you have so much experience and you're as good as you are in all the different areas, how do you try to grow as a mixed martial artist to have new tools and new techniques for the next time you step inside of the cage?
Obviously, if there's something new I can learn that's going to work for me, that's always a big deal, because I have been doing it for I've been training for over 20 years now.
Right.
And so the chances of me learning something new are very small anymore. So I guess I'm not always trying to learn something new. I guess my goal is generally to refine the things that I have and improve and tighten up the things that I do well, and learn and create different, I guess, avenues where I can use those techniques. That being said, like I did kind of, it's not a new technique that I learned, but like a variation of something just that I was drilling with a guy wrestling, and I was able to kind of learn a new way to apply it, and so just training for this camp, I guess. But I guess in general, what we're trying to do is refine the basics and tighten up the things that I do well, and just figure out the best time to use them and different ways to use them.
And that's what they say. They say advanced fundamentals is the route to everybody's path to victory. And Nate Marquardt, you've shown us many times how to get the job done. Nate Marquardt looking for his 36th victory in professional mixed martial arts as he takes on Sam Alvey this Saturday night at the Pepsi Center in Denver, Colorado. Nate, thanks so much for the time. All the best, and we hope to talk to you soon.
Great. Thanks a lot.
He is the former King of Pancrase, Nate Marquardt, former UFC middleweight title challenger, one of my favorite fighters on the planet. He takes on Sam Alvey on Saturday.